In this lecture, we'll be introducing ourselves to closures. In the previous lecture, when we were talking about function returning a function, we actually worked with a closure in that case. Here you can see that same example. We are returning a function from a function called pickRandomCourse. So we can define a closure as something which wraps up an entire environment, binding necessary variables from other scopes. So if I have to simplify it, let's comment out this whole thing and start with a simple function. Let's call it as sample closure, and inside this let's declare a variable, call it as var number, and assign it a value, then return this number. Now here you will notice that this number is local to this function called sample closure, and a local variable is not available once the function scope is closed. So if I try to print this number over here, console.log and number, it will return undefined. So let's check this out first. There you can see number is not defined because the scope of local variable is not available once the function's scope is closed. So it has already closed here. You cannot access it outside the function declaration. Now let's make our example a bit more complicated. So here I'll comment this one, and inside this let's create another function. So we have var number as 10, and then we'll have another function called getNumber, and here inside getNumber we'll be returning the number. Now you can see that this function getNumber is not having any variable called number, but still if I'll return this, it will not tell me that it's undefined. It will get the value 10 over here that we have, and it will show that in log. So if I now call sample closure like this, so let's put it inside the console so that we can see the output that this result is going to give. There you go, you can see that 10 is being returned. And if I show you the definition of result, let's do console.log, and inside that we'll just have the result without any parenthesis. So here you can see that it's calling getNumber function, and getNumber is returning this number variable. For getNumber, the number variable is treated like a global variable. Something if I do over here, the same will apply to sample closure. So the inner function can access the outer function's variable because they feel like global variables. And here you can see that we are not storing number anywhere inside the getNumber function. And here you can see that the sample closure function finished executing here itself. Its local variable is now bound with getNumber, and that's what we executed via this function result. So that was a little introduction of closure. We'll be covering more on this in upcoming lectures.